Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Trucking Tower podcast. I'm very excited to be joined today by my friend, talented musician, face melter, and podcast legend, Michael Vincent. How are you doing, Michael?
Wow, where is this guy? He's got the same name as I do.
I think it's you.
Oh, wow. That's kind of crazy. I've never been. Thanks for the introduction, my friend. How are you doing? You've done a few things yourself there, Andy. Andy, CEO, podcaster, founder, humanitarian extraordinaire. I accept your welcome graciously. Well, I'm honored to be on the show. What took you so long to invite me? No,
yeah, no kidding. I should have brought you on earlier, but there was a topic. Our show today is called Melt Faces, Save Oceans, Fight Poverty. Right?
Wow. Wow. What a show. I love it. That's somebody whoever thought that up was brilliant. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. And, I want to, for starters, I'm going to show our audience a 45-second promo video because they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but I think a video is worth about 10,000 words.
Okay, cool.
Right here, I'm going to show everybody. So check it out. I've been very fortunate to podcast with you, Michael, a few times. And we actually did a song collaboration where I played a keyboard track on top of a guitar solo that you did, if you'll recall.
This, that, and the other.
Yes.
Yeah. There's actually words to that. I got to send you that.
Absolutely. I would love to see that.
I actually put words to that. As bad as I am, it was pretty decent.
Very cool. I would love to see that. Yeah.
I'm writing it down in my journal. To do today is to send Andy this, that, and the other. I've got it.
Very cool. That was a lot of fun.
I think somebody said it was kind of like Charlie Brown meets Van Halen. Didn't somebody say that?
To me, it had a little bit of a punk rock vibe to it. Right. And I was doing my best to just try and keep up on the keyboard, but very cool. I love the idea behind the song too. And so, we'll have to.
I will. And you know what? I'll give you a second. I'll send it to you because I did it on a acoustic and just picking it. I slowed it down way down and just picked it on my acoustic and sang a tune to it. I'll send you that and see what you can do with those. We'll reissue it. It'll be a remaster, whatever they call it.
Oh, very cool. And, our friend Damon Hatcherson, also known as Damon Dae, he did a shout out for you on a podcast we recently recorded together. And he said we all need to do something one of these days. So,
oh, no doubt about it. I love it. Music's a great way to connect. And it's been a big part of my life for a long, long time. I love it.
Absolutely. So today we're going to be talking about your Kickstarter project.
Oh, cool.
And your company, ocean7music.com. So it's such an awesome idea. There's financial benefits for people in need and a way to reduce pollution on this planet that we all share. So who are you surrounded with and kind of what inspired you to do this?
I'm surrounded by a very, very supportive family. A lot of people out there that I know, like yourself, that are just going, yeah, this is a great thing. Keep going forward and keep fighting it. And some really, really fine men and women at Ocean Plastic Technologies. They're out of South Africa, which is my source and my partners. Just surrounded by tremendous people. The inspiration was really just a couple of years back, 2.5 years back, wanted to do something a little bit I just wanted to get into something more altruistic and try and do something meaningful more with, as 54 years old, do something that more meaningful, but do something meaningful. You know what I'm saying? That itch to just say, hey, let's do something here. Things are not exactly the greatest on the planet. There were other things going on, obviously, but that need to do something. So really, I love music, so I wanted to marry two things together, right? Music and do something nice, do something good for the planet. And so I started looking into ocean. Just what can I make in music besides being a musician? Because it's too late for me. I'm not. That's not going to happen. Yeah, what am I do? I've got an idea. We'll call it Live Aid.
Right.
Yeah, right. No, so but I thought, what we could make things, out of recycled materials, right? So picks and capos and guards and stuff like that. But instruments don't really work. They're a certain material because those are the materials that work, and that's why they are made out of what they are. Plastic guitars are really nice for singing around a campfire with a carbon fiber one, but it's still. It's not a wooden Taylor or Martin or Breedlove or what have you. So I looked into the accessories and found that there was nobody doing anything except maybe, if they called it recycled, was somebody made a guitar out of a cigar box, right? Or a banjo out of a cigar box or something. That's not what I was looking for. And so I looked for source partners to find recycled plastics, specifically ocean plastics, to help save the oceans and clean up the oceans. And do something with that plastics that was being recovered from the oceans, because that's the issue. We can keep pulling plastic out of the ocean until we figure out what to do with it. It really doesn't do a whole lot except go back into the ocean or get burned. So couldn't find anybody, but I ran across the guys at OPT down in South Africa, and they were of the same mindset and small enough to say, hey, you know what, let's do this with you and help me design some prototypes. I got the prototypes done. They went over really well. And I've got a lot of good interest for some major players. And so now I've find myself trying to raise the money to build the molds is where I'm at. Really. That's where it is. It's got to have that cash infusion to get those molds going or, so there you go. That's where it's
Right.
at.
Absolutely. And I've seen documentaries about just how much plastic as a world environment we're dumping into the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's really alarming when you see what's going on.
It really is. I mean, they say a truckload every minute, but depends on what you call a truckload, right? But it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 78 million tons a year.
Right. Unreal.
It's a bunch. That's just plastic going into the ocean. It's bad. It's bad news. And it's not that we're just dumping it in there. It's even the stuff that you and I recycle. That's what people don't understand. Very, very little of what you put into your recycling bin actually gets recycled. Most of that stuff gets incinerated. I mean, when I'm saying most, like 80-90% still gets put into a landfill or incinerated. And when it's put into a landfill, 32 some odd percent of that still winds up into the ocean, let alone the other stuff that people just throw into a river or whatever it happens to be. Right here in Tennessee, the Tennessee River, all this plastic right here in Chattanooga is the Tennessee River is just, it's filled with microplastics and other plastics, but that also spills right out into the ocean as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's going to affect the ecosystem for sure.
Oh yeah.
So I love what you're doing. I love that part of it. And I also love that it brings an income, right? It allows people to generate an income as well. So that's really cool.
It really does. And that's one of the things I liked about hooking up with the people at Ocean Plastic Technologies is that it is a for-profit business, right? It's a sustainable effort that they're doing. And they've proven for a number of years now, 4 or 5 years now, that a circular plastic economy is profitable. It can be profitable. It can be done. And it's not just Ocean Plastic Technology and some off brand in South Africa. We're talking about major players. We're talking about Volvos and Pepsi and so forth. Unilever types. This is it's not Joe Schmo that you're like, okay, so there's some guy making flower pots. Yes, there's those. There are most definitely, but there's big players getting involved with what is going on here because it is that good, and it puts, like you said, it allows communities to create income, jobs, entrepreneurs out of a waste problem that many times they didn't create. It's got the potential, working with the islands, or I'm working with the islands to create somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 to 275 million or more in annual export business. The waste plastic that's rolling in the oceans and showing up on their shores and being dumped by tourists, et cetera, in the different island chains around the world. And I'm talking about just 4 islands, these group of 4 islands, $250 to $300 million of raw materials right there. If you just collect it, sort it, shred it, and ship it out. Already have offtake agreements for 700 tons of plastic a month. Just need to get the micro recycling plants there, and that's what we're working on. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, tremendous opportunity worldwide when you think about. I think 70% of our planet's covered in oceans or water of some sort. So you can imagine what the opportunity is worldwide.
Right.
So
right.
I've seen your e-commerce store and I've seen your Kickstarter. It's premiered, or it's shown there on your website. And what are your plans and goals? Like, where are you headed? What do you want to do?
Wow. Yeah. So it's to get a circular plastic economy going. The music is the music industry. It's a way to get to spread the word, to evangelize what is going on, and to show what is possible here with some intention and how easy it is for everybody to get involved. The pick guard on your guitar, like the one sitting behind me and stuff, the ocean plastic or virgin plastic makes zero difference on that guitar. None at all, other than it helps save the planet if you use recycled ocean plastic.
Right.
It's printed on. It can be chipped up and made into another one. It can be chipped up and made into the stand for this microphone. See the plastic in this microphone stand?
Right.
Zero difference whether this is virgin plastic or ocean waste plastic. None at all. But we don't buy it. We don't use it because there's not enough source. The CEO at P&G said in December, they're not going to hit their ESG goals. Sorry, I should be talking into it now. See, that's how professional I am as a podcaster. That's why millions of people watch me.
Variety by showing a prop. You got a prop right there.
I'm a prop comic. Well, he said they're not going to meet their ESG goals because there's not enough source. They can't get a reliable source, and that's what OPT is doing. And that's what, if it's not us, but it inspires the industry, everybody to go, wait a minute. Do you mean I can buy this case and it's made out of recycled, and it's still blue and still does what it says? Okay. I mean, there's certain things. Yeah, no, there's certain things that have to be virgin plastic because of the structural integrity of it and safety. You know, like Playcore. I spoke with Playcore. They're very interested in what we're doing, but they make playground equipment and stuff like that. It has to be of a specific tensile strength and that type of stuff. Now, ocean plastics will do it, but it'll take years of testing and proving so that your kid doesn't get killed going down a slide that should be, of a certain strength. Totally get that. But bumpers on cars made out of recycled plastics and road gators are actually better than virgin. Actually better.
It's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity, really.
Yeah, it really is. It's just a different way of thinking, and it really is a logistics issue. It is, how do you get the stuff from as close to as close to immediately post-consumer to manufacturing in the most efficient manner possible. It's purely logistics, Andy. That's what we do. Right. That's, you know what I mean? So, and it's really not that hard when you scale it down and look at the economics of micro recycling versus the huge material reclamation facilities that we have. These massive places are just not efficient. So.
Absolutely.
Let me get a different soapbox to get on. Do you have another question? I'll get another soapbox.
Well, my next one's about you play. You play guitar. You write
I do.
music. You post about instruments and music quite a bit.
Yes.
So
and
what
all my
got
music,
you?
all my music on my posts I write and do myself, by the way.
Very, very cool. I love that. And I wanted to know what got you started in music.
Yeah, okay. So I always wanted to be a guitarist, didn't have much money growing up, so that didn't work out. So I played air guitar for years, and I've always been into music, very, very deep, and a punk rocker and all that kind of stuff. Screw the man, everything. So yeah, I loved it. I had a pretty diverse. I'm the youngest child, and so growing up in the 60s and 70s with older. I'm one of those guys who goes, oh, you like Pink Floyd? Yeah, I like Division Bell. Division Bell is not Pink Floyd. Astronomy Donomy is Pink Floyd. Pipers at the Gates of Dawn is.
Right.
So but I always loved music. And my oldest daughter, Isabel, was into music. And so I wasn't playing guitar, but she loved to sit and just play the guitar. And so I picked up the guitar really to try and relate to her more. And she dropped it and I got stuck.
Wow, that's really cool. So you picked it up to help your daughter. You fell in love with playing and then
Yes.
just kept going with it.
Yes. And my father-in-law, I got a $200 Yamaha acoustic guitar. My father-in-law, who's a Methodist minister, started teaching me chords. He'd teach me like 3 or 4 chords, and he'd say, "Okay, here's the song, and it's got the chords on it." And he'd say 1, 2, 3, go, and he'd play, and I'd have to just try and keep up with him. He would not slow down. That was it, and it was really the best instruction I'd ever had. And then about a month or 2 into it, he said, "Okay, you come on stage with me and play hymns." I don't know if you ever tried to play hymns on an acoustic guitar, traditional, right out of like a hymnal, but it ain't easy.
Right. Right.
And so I spent a lot of time faking it and hit some notes, but learned really, really quickly. He was the best teacher. But yeah, so there you go. That's how I got into it.
That's really interesting. My dad was a minister of music part-time and an accountant, and my mother played the piano and the organ. So I have had many hymnals I've seen on the piano and played a few here and there. And yeah, they're not easy just to figure out.
Yeah, I mean,
it takes some practice, that's for sure.
Plenty of songs where my guitar just didn't come with those chords. There's just no way to play.
Yeah, it's like E minor 7.
Yeah, I mean, who writes music in E minor anymore?
Pull this off. But that's awesome. I love that story. So you're a podcast rock star also. So
okay. Cool.
I love watching your shows on Freight Waves. And I was going to ask you about how many roughly shows do you think you've recorded, and roughly how many views, if you had to guesstimate?
Between What the Truck on Freight Waves and my personal stuff, somewhere around, I would say about 500. Wow. Maybe a little more that have been recorded.
Wow.
And I know for certain that it's over 1.4 million views. I know for sure that is, because last year we had little over 1 million views on What the Truck, and and my own stuff. I mean, I've got individual of the 90 plus some that I've done that are like 900, 1,200, 1,500, somewhere around there. And now it's June. So that's probably a very good guess. I would say that's awesome. A very good guess.
Well, you guys, you're doing a lot.
But hey, listen, Tim Dooner. That's why, 90% of those are there. Guys, he's the rock. I just along for the ride. I'm Ringo Starr.
Well, you know what? I love your shows. When you guys get together, you vibe well. I love watching what you're doing. And, your coverage, it's everywhere. I see it all the time. I get Dooner's email.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love your shows, man. I
appreciate that.
Really been fortunate to be on a couple of times with you and Dooner. So appreciate you coming on to my show with me.
Absolutely. I love it.
And what are the best ways, Michael, for people to get involved with Ocean 7 Music and what you're doing with the recycling?
Wow. Yeah, ocean7music.com or DM me on LinkedIn, Michael Vincent.
Right.
or message me on Twitter, Vincent the Dude. But ocean7music.com, and you can email through there as well. I'm also Michael at Ocean Plastic Technologies. No S, not plastics, just oceanplastictechnologies.com. Or go to OPT Earth. Check it out. It's not hard to get involved. It's not hard to see what we're trying to do. The latest thing that I'm pushing, Andy, is we could take all the plastic and road gators that are on the roads and recycle that stuff into mud flaps quite easily. Really nice. Well, I've got manufacturing lined up in the United States, and it can be done. Just need some people to go, you know what? I'm with you, Mike. Let's go do this. This is not that hard to do, actually. Pretty exciting stuff. Very cool.
Absolutely. Very, very cool. And I'm going to put the link to your Kickstarter here in the video. So be sure, everybody, click on that and get involved with Michael in making a difference on the planet, help us save our oceans, and make some cool gear all at the same time, right? That's
absolutely.
The name of the game.
Right on. Melt faces, save oceans.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, Michael, thanks again for coming on to the show. That's going to do it for this episode of the Trucking Tower podcast. And we will see you guys soon. Take care, everybody.